Okay, it's gonna be close enough to, for me in order.
Wish I was.
Let the roll call show that all councilors are present. And if we're able to, rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, meeting in order. First item, agenda, additions or deletions.
Have none, Mr. Mayor.
Council,
None.
okay, we'll need action.
Make
Fine.
motion to approve.
Have a motion,
Second.
second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Anybody wish to pull any of the items on the consent agenda? Staff, anybody? Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
we have a motion,
Second.
we have a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Next item will be open forum. Anybody that's not on the agenda, is welcome to speak now. 3-minute limit, we don't discuss legal matters. Bunch of other stuff here. I see nobody stepping forward. Let's move on. We have no old business. New business. First item 6.1, ordinance 889, fee schedule amendment, first reading.
Any of us can.
Well, you didn't come about because of me this time, so.
So then go for it.
Oh, okay, well, I don't know that I know all the different changes. I think that there was a burial change, correct? Because of
Winter.
winter burials.
Winter burials went, they haven't been adjusted in a long time. Our contractor, very kind gentleman that, catered to ask for a raise. So, that's the question and with quite a few winter burials this year. Discussion came up and I'm requesting that it get increased to 1,200 from 800. It's the pass-through cost, we don't.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, if I can just add to what Bob's saying, our costs previously were actually 1,200.
Yeah.
Dorn got 850, so we're now bumping it to 1,400 and Dorn will get 1,200.
Thank you for the clarification.
Got your back.
Not a huge item, I guess.
Is cremation not affected then, or, because it says winter burials cremation stay at 700?
So we still do the cremations in-house
Okay,
because it's, not a huge impact on us whether we have a snow event or not.
Okay.
So we're still able to use it in-house.
thank you.
Anybody else?
Members of the council, the other items that were on there were because of a law change where we now have to give the full amount quoted on a fee schedule. You can't say things like there's a 3% credit card fee or things like that. So we actually had to calculate that out and we had to raise some of the prices to include that credit card fee. And we'll be updating the websites and the different rental reservation sites to reflect that. That's pretty much all of the facility fees, the ones that you see there are because of that.
Okay, I didn't see any questionable items for myself. I can't speak for anybody else.
Those 300 that got just removed.
Yeah, that one I can also speak to, because it is all now going through the county and the state, we won't be doing them locally anymore. Similar to liquor licenses before, we were previously doing the cannabinoid licenses, we don't do those anymore, so it's just getting removed off our fee schedule.
Purchases? No meth or fentanyl.
And also, yeah, meth also got removed.
We talked about that.
So this is the first reading, so it actually has to go into the new next year, so that's not a problem with anything. Anybody else? Need action?
Make a motion to approve ordinance 889 fee schedule amendment first read.
Motion?
Second.
Second? Any other questions? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. 6.2, resolution 25-65. Looks like, Todd's up for quite a while.
Question.
Very short.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, in front of you is, basically, so when we ordered the first round of stuffed dogs, Scar, we, just completed the final sale of that round, and so, total taken in was like 3,500, so it's about a $1,500, profit. So this particular one is to replenish the account that paid for the dogs back in 24, was that first one. And then the other, let's see, one, 3 resolutions from,
Yeah,
that'll be going into the account. Yep.
yeah, and I guess, I'll give you guys, accolades for, I wouldn't have thought that stuff would sell like that, I guess.
A great Christmas stocking item right now, we have them for sale at the police department. Yeah, Jason and his wife Teresa have done a phenomenal job trying to, I mean, we sold pizzas, we're selling stuffed animals, we're selling t-shirts, so he's trying to basically not have a cost when we purchase the next dog.
Yeah, well, all the time, pat yourself in the back, so.
Are there any other dogs in training that I'll get new additions I can start gifting out to people, or?
So we bought another round of them, so we have some Scar dogs still, and
Yeah.
then we have bogies now.
Mhm.
So, and then, yeah, when the new dog comes, we'll launch the new dog.
Good. Any other questions? Hearing none, we need action.
On each individually?
Yeah, I think, yeah, we gotta do them all separately.
Yeah, you're just doing 25 right now.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2565 and accept the donation, deposit funds in the sales of stuffed Bowie dogs.
Get motion,
Second?
and a second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carried. Resolution 25-66.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, in front of you, Sherburne State Bank, donate $100 to go to, just obviously miscellaneous expenses that go into the K-9 program. So this will go into the account that everything from bogey vacation stays, that Michelle calls it, to food and everything else that can go into it.
Okay, anybody have any to ask? Hearing nothing, we'll need action.
Motion to approve the donation from Sherburne State Bank for
Motion,
a second.
and a second. Discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so that one carries. Resolution 25-67. This would be the other part of your,
No.
Almost.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, member of the council, in front of you is a donation from Shield Services,
Oh.
which is located in Princeton, Minnesota, off of First Street. They have donated maybe close to $10,000 is my, to the new dog fund. So this money here, $1,000 will go into our account that's set up for the replacement dog piece when that time comes.
yeah, that's phenomenal. And who exactly are they?
I knew you. His son is a Maple Grove police officer. I'm sorry, I apologize, I cannot think of his first name.
Good. Well, might be, LLC with the.
So, yeah, how much?
6,000.
Oh, sorry, 6,000 since 2020.
And before that.
But we've had them, yeah, we've had donations before that.
Anyway, good thing, wow. Action,
Motion to approve resolution 26 or 25-67, accept donation from Shield Services to Police Canine Fund.
we have a motion,
Second.
and a second. Discussion, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that one carries. 2568. That got the part of it.
You are correct, Mr. Mayor, member of the council. This is the $1,500 deposit. This would be the deposit into the new or the account for the new dog. This is what we made off of the that first initial stuffed animal scar sale. I think you got that right.
Anybody
You're
need
correct. Don't look at
This one says bogey.
This one's a bogey.
First one was scar, I think.
You are correct. Yeah, scar. That first initial.
They both says, neither one says scar.
So that have to be a correction with the first one.
I don't know. This silver makes a big deal.
Control
in general. Yeah, it's the first purchase of dogs were scar dogs. Not the hot dog.
But Donna can reflect that in a minute.
Mhm.
Okay, any other input? Need action?
Make a motion to approve resolution 25-68, accepting donations / deposit to replace cost of stuffed bogey dog purchase in 2020.
Motion,
Second.
second. Discussion. Favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that carries. Okay, 6.6. Princeton Public Utilities, Resolution 25-69.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, I'd like to turn the floor over to Nick Noack, who is the vice chair of the Princeton Public Utilities Commission, and Commissioner Tom Jackson, present the request and answering questions, and Keith and I are here to also provide any questions and answers that the council might have.
Councilors, Mayor, thank you very much for having us tonight. We come forward tonight requesting passage of the resolution, looking for the city council's support for Public Utilities Commission. To make Public Utilities Commission, we're community owned, we're community resource, we're community run, utility providing electrical service and water service, obviously. It's direct, there's direct control by the community with the commission. Of course, we're appointed by the city council as commissioners and work with Keith and the staff over there to make sure we're doing the very best to provide the best service we can. And again, it's not for profit. We're not there for profit. We're here as a community resource. I think we're very much tied to the community, very much ingrained with the community. A lot of people that work there are definitely, connected and working and definitely working for the benefit of the community. It's not a profit. All the PUC is in strong position to continue to provide Princeton citizens responsive service. We have people that live in the community, that know the community. When there's a call, the people that are going out there know the community, they know the areas, they know the alleyways. They know the people that they're going to be connecting, reconnecting. And I think there's a connection there that we would lose if it wasn't for the commission and all the work that goes into it. There's investment, there's connections. As we work through some issues with, outside, as we work through, the issues of possibly having a sale, we definitely feel like the Public Utilities Commission is here for the citizens and is connected to the citizens. So, we want to maintain a strong and vibrant presence in the community and continue to provide the services that we are. So we're looking for your support on this resolution. Anything to add?
I think you summed it up right. Why would we want to give it up to a third party? We're all neighbors here. We control it ourselves. There's no use, no benefit to give it up to a third party.
I read the memo too, and Michelle did a very good job of putting together some of the pros and cons, like from the financial aspects and such. And, I guess there's open to questions, I guess. Anybody have any questions? Ready to jump? Keith?
I do.
I guess myself, but
I'm confused what we're being asked to do here. I mean, you guys have been around since 1911. We've never been asked to approve a resolution to support the public utilities, so I'm confused what we're being asked to do here tonight.
So there is a outside entity, has, made no specific offer, but is showing interest in buying the utility. And they would only be buying the electrical side of it. So there would still be, a water utility that would have to be owned, operated, and still developed. So there's still a lot of overhead associated with that. There's no specifics, but we feel like this is an institution that is ingrained in the community, that supports the community, that, again, isn't for profit. So its only interest is to provide, provide the best service we can for the community. There's a lot of financial stability that's worked into this. We've been responsive with the funds that we're controlled with, that we were in control of. We've built up safeguards to ensure we can handle different situations that arise in terms of capital needs. And again, when issues come up, there's a direct tie between us and the city to make sure that, if there's new service that needs to go in, that the connection is prompt and it's there. I just think there's a lot of benefit to maintaining the utility.
anybody else, go ahead.
From what I'm reading in the resolution in relation to what that overture is, and that they're inquiring about us selling off the utility. And then also mentioned is a separate thing with like Keith's efforts to expand into within the city controlled areas, the service area. And so that's, I think, where I was getting confused, is some of it's mentioned like that effort
There's all
and
kinds of
future
stuff.
plans, and some of it's like making a statement that we don't support selling the PPU electric portion. And so I don't know if it's further conversation as to like the language of what's within here before we would commit, or what. I guess like the separate pieces, those can be separate conversations, and I would say we're not making a commitment to, I don't know, like, I feel like this might, not that I'm saying in the moment I wanna sell off the electric utility, but this would be a commitment to not do so. And
Well,
that
that-
takes away that option.
That's what I'm confused about, because this feels really like strange to me to have this resolution sitting in front of us without like, I'm not saying we would sell the public utilities, and I'm not saying that we wouldn't sell the public utilities, but for you to ask us to make a commitment tonight without us having all of the information that would be needed for such a serious decision, so that we could weigh all the pros and cons and make an educated decision. This is very, feels forced. And it feels inappropriate to me for us to be asked to commit to something
What
when we don't have the
information,
information in front of us.
what information you want? You want the dollar amount that they're offering us?
Yeah, I mean, I would like.
What number would convince you to sell
I
it?
have no idea at this point, but because we don't have any information from anybody else, so if we're gonna make a decision on this company versus keeping utilities, we need all the information in front of us before we can let's weigh all the pros and cons and make an educated decision. I don't think any of us are in a situation here tonight to make a decision to commit to something without all the information that should be given to us to make that decision.
So could it be also where if this was a reactionary action by that company and they, pardon my French, half-assed an effort to see if we were interested, then we could go from that and say, we're not interested, you're not giving us useful information, this isn't a serious offer,
I
we're
think
not
that's
interested.
the route you're looking at.
Well, I don't know, that's, yeah,
We're, I
like,
mean, we're trying to pursue to expand into the city limits.
Mhm.
Well, obviously somebody's selling that part to the portion of our city already, an
Yeah.
outside company.
Mhm.
Now that outside company is trying to come in and say, well, we'll just buy you then.
right,
you know,
and that seems
and-
reactionary, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
instead of us trying to pursue the city's or the commission's right to serve its people inside its limits.
Mhm. I
And
think
we just
those are
want that support from you guys to say, okay, you know, that's what the utility is here for. We're here to serve the city of Princeton. And not play around with a third party
Mhm.
and muck up the waters.
Yeah.
You know,
So the focus is to keep the utility strong. You know, not to be looking at options that, you know, is gonna take time and energy away from that focus. We don't have a whole lot of interest in selling right now. It's the community resource that we value. It's the local control we value. And, you know, that's why we're serving on the commission and, you know, it's a reaction, like you say, it's a reactionary offer.
Mhm.
It seems like it's not a valid offer that they want to buy as much as they,
want to muck up the waters.
yes.
I think Michelle did a wonderful write-up on,
Michelle already made that up.
I mean,
explaining, you know, how valuable the commission is to the city. And that's what we're looking for. It's just, I mean, you guys could sell again next meeting. I mean, but we just want this one, you know,
I think for myself anyways, I do agree that it's very quick to, I'm not saying that I'm for selling it at all, but I do also think that we should figure out the land issue before we go through this,
land issue.
where some of the spaces are on city property but have whatnot, but figuring out those different things. I do agree with there's a lot of information into these, but
yeah, this is really premature. We don't have. I understand what you're saying and what your concerns are, and we're aware of what's going on, because Mr. Butcher called all of us to give us a heads up. But I think asking us to make some sort of commitment without knowing what is going on completely and what any offer would be, so we can be educated to make the best decision, I think this just does not feel right to me at all.
So, sorry, me again. So this is a resolution where I know you said we have the right to just like change our mind the next meeting if we wanted to, but I feel like that makes it serious where we lose confidence if we make a resolution and then the next meeting change our mind. Whereas I think there's different types of statements of commitment or a response to the situation we're in. Is there maybe a different vehicle of how we deliver support? Because like, I'm not saying we don't support not going with that offer and all of that, but I guess I didn't expect specifically. This language seems to tie us to like a indeterminate amount of time that we're committed, which I think Jenny said since 1911, this has been our situation. And so I just don't know what the future is. Like something could change. I don't know if Keith retires someday and we don't like the person that comes after and adversarial relationship, God forbid, but I just like, what, is there an official response? You received communication from them, right?
correct. So, Keith started negotiations or discussions
Mhm.
with the third party entity.
Yeah,
Um,
to kind of take on. that
correct,
service
to,
area.
correct. And it can speak to his conversation with that particular entity if he chooses to do so. I then received an email from the president of the third party wanting to meet with the council.
Right.
Prior to, setting up a meeting, I had a number of questions about a number of the items that are outlined in my email.
Mhm.
I feel as if the response I received was incomplete. Not all the questions were answered, and they were answered in a way that was very cloudy, for lack of a better term. Short of a meeting with, I mean, if you want to
I don't think,
have a meeting with this person or direct me to sit down and get more specific answers.
if they can't answer your questions, just like when we were fielding proposals about space needs, if you're not even gonna answer the questions, I'm not interested. So that would be my answer. So like when they didn't follow through, was there additional communication?
I have not communicated back with them at this time because this issue came to the table. So I wanted to bring this to you from the request from the commission. And if you table it and direct me to go back to and say, look, your answers were not clear, I need more specifics, I'm more than happy to do that and see if the answers become less cloudy.
Wasn't the initial, was that they were going to bring to city council a proposal?
There has not been an indication of a proposal. They want a meeting. That's it.
Okay. Well, when Keith called me, that was one of the things I thought you said they were going to prepare a proposal to city council.
They were having the,
Yeah.
they were going to make an offer,
Yeah.
which is kind of what they're doing, but there's, as Michelle said, it's not, it's not formal,
Right.
written out, here's all the details.
Sounds like it's just in the first beginning stages of here's what we're planning to do and whatever. But
If I may, part of the reason this is up now is because, I've shared the information with the commission. The commission passed their own resolution saying, no, we're committed to being here.
Mhm.
We're committed to serving this community. We feel that we bring a lot of value to this community. So understanding that the commission wanted to get back to the conversation that we had started, which was the service territory transfer. They passed the resolution stating that, no, we're committed, we're here, we want to stay, we want to provide value. So they did that at their last meeting, which was just, last Wednesday, I guess. So what the commission then also said is, they wanted to approach the council to pass a concurrent resolution saying the same thing that they already did. The commission had stated through their resolution, they're not interested in that. And they just wanted to come here and see if the council would support them, and say that they agree.
I mean, I'd be willing to table it for future conversation. I don't necessarily think the last meeting of the year when we're finalizing budgets and CIPs and stuff is the appropriate time, and I think this is really premature, honestly.
And so you still have it's your prerogative to act and expand into that service territory without us responding immediately, right?
That's under the commission's direction.
Yeah.
Yep. And I will point out too, that the council and the commission had a joint meeting, in 24, where this topic was discussed and, the commission was given, our understanding was, yes, go out and talk to everybody and work towards this. So that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, so I'm glad you went and reached out to businesses and talked to folks and didn't just act, which is still your prerogative to do. And so I'm appreciative of that. I just don't want to necessarily limit the powers of the city government and say, we don't take any offers, we won't meet with anyone or hear anything, but I don't think this is serious enough where we would meet with them. But we don't know all of the information just yet, so I would support tabling as well for, is a resolution the proper delivery mechanism? Is there even anything there with what that conversation was or lack thereof? Because they didn't even take an email seriously.
Well, I mean, I feel like I couldn't bring to the council the response I received back. The initial email communication talked about benefits, talked about keeping PPU line persons. It somewhat ignored the fact of that it's a water, there's water related to that. How do we address that issue? How do we calculate the value? There's the whole issue of the electrical streetlights, maintenance and electrical that we know from North Branch's selling of their utility that was a oops. Now we have a big budget hit because we didn't really factor that in. You know, so.
Can I just interrupt real quick? This
Yeah.
is why I'm saying this is a big, long, further discussion than what we should be having tonight, in my opinion. I think that we could do it at a study session or something. And if we want to get some of those questions answered, that could be something they could come and present at a study session or something. I don't know. I just am not comfortable with this tonight. And I don't think tonight's the night for it.
And, the agenda item is the resolution. So we're really getting off track here. And what I'm hearing is, and I haven't heard it officially, is the table.
I'd like to make a motion to table it
We have
for
a
further
motion.
discussion.
Second?
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. I vote no. Motion carries. So the table.
Thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on, move to 2026 budget.
Right. So I tried to organize this in a way that hopefully makes it easy for the council to make some decisions tonight. The first part of this request is items related to the 2025 budget. And that is the unanticipated pilot payments that we received, and also the sale of the industrial lots and residential lots. That was also unanticipated revenue that we were blessed to receive. Currently, those are just in the general fund revenue, appropriate line items. We have the ability prior to year end to move those into another fund, should you decide to do so. So that's a discretionary decision. So I'm suggesting that we move these to the newly created Park Improvement Fund, which is the fund separate from park dedication for the purposes of park improvements. Those will be the first two discussion and decision points that I'm asking you to make tonight. Then when we get to the 2026 budget, general fund, I made some very minor adjustments to revenue in some departments. I went back through and looked at insurance. LMC has indicated that they are going to lower premiums both in workers' comp and the liability areas. Workers' comp is a significant deduct, but I did not deduct our premium estimates as much as the 25% indicated. I only did 20%. Kavira, this is one of the items that you could decide to remove from the budget. For the 11 months, January and December, we have about a 9.8% utilization. So the information's in the memo. We're proposing to increase the capital improvements levy by $24,400. And then we have the para statewide volunteer firefighter voluntary contribution. Because we have a policy that we will not reduce the fund level below 113%. The fund itself, even with the most recently approved increase, is funded and fully funded. We have not had to do a voluntary contribution for the last 4 years. We are always fully funded. So we have been budgeting 26,000. The actual amount that we sent for, because it's per firefighter, in 2025, we did send $22,750 to para to provide additional funding, in addition to the market stuff that the state manages. So that's another opportunity for reduction. So not counting the reductions, just counting the insurance changes and the small changes in the revenue. The levy is now at 5.73% without talking about Kavira, the capital improvements levy, or the voluntary firefighter contribution. So on page 2 of the memo is a table. So this is the only way I could figure out how to show everybody is choices that you have in terms of whether or not you want to take them, which ones you want to take, and what the resulting impact to the levy is. So I just need the council to pick one. We can pick the one that doesn't have any deducts, and we just are at 5.73%. Or we can do some minor adjustments and get some additional minor savings to the levy.
Can I ask a quick question? Can you explain the capital increase of 24,400?
Sure. So the annual, so if you look at the levy resolution, we fund for current expenditures, the tax abatement levy for bonded indebtedness, try saying that 5 times fast, and capital improvements. So that capital improvements dollar amount that is currently at 175,600, we would go to 200,000, and that goes into the capital reserve. So that can pay for, help fund the payment. And one of the things I forgot to bring was our investment worksheet. So we have quite a bit of money in the bank, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But that 200,000, which isn't a whole lot, we haven't increased that amount, that 175,600. We have not increased that in the 5 years I've been here. It's been at that 175,600. I didn't go backwards prior to 2020 to see what the rate was. So, so that's what that is.
You kind of touched on it. So do we have a balance of just CIP reserves or fund, or?
I didn't bring the financial statement, Jack, but yes, we have a capital reserve fund.
But whether we increase it or not, I think that depends on what we have in the balance now.
Well,
Do you have a ballpark number?
I do not.
So would it be easier and better if that was increased?
I think that I would say yes, you should. I would recommend, that's the one recommendation I did make in regards to the general fund levy, is that you do increase that capital improvements levy. Because things are not getting any cheaper, and you have a fairly significant laundry list going out the next 10 years of things. You know, some things are gonna fall off in terms of bonding. we are also gonna have some other revenue sources that we're gonna implement, but we still are likely going to have to bond, and whether we pay for that with the franchise fee or out of the capital reserve. Those are decisions for the future councils to make, but I think being able to, add to that capital improvement levy is an important, I mean, even if it stays flat for another 5 years, like the current level has.
How long has the city had the Kavira?
1 year.
That's 1 year, 9% participation.
Yep.
And is it telemedicine or what is Kavira? Sorry.
It's a combination of telemedicine, theoretically home visits,
Mhm.
which, has not gone well for folks. I don't know, I haven't used it personally. I know Ed's used it. Bob has attempted to use it. Todd's used it. But the first year we received a discount on our insurance premiums of about 1%.
For participation.
To try it, yeah, to try it, and, there's no continuation of, health insurance premium deduct. So I'm not, terribly upset if we drop it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't used it, so I can't speak to the experience, but, others can.
I don't know.
You know, I kind of view that in a bigger picture. I don't think 1 year is enough to get a good feel for it. I mean, health insurance is, I can't even define it, but anything like this, health savings account, I perceive those types of things as addressing the health insurance issue in the big picture. Now, it's probably impossible to put a dollar and cents value on it at this point.
It's in addition to health insurance.
Yeah.
Well, but I think it's got a good purpose to try to do an end run on the insurance company.
If I
The
may,
health savings account for,
if I may, it's, I believe it's being underutilized.
but it's only been on 1 year.
Correct, but in, my personal experience wasn't the greatest. I attempted to use it and it's still being underutilized because I believe that it's a cultural change. And it's trying to get people to go, oh, I don't have to go to the doctor and I can make a phone call, and they're still not doing it. And I've encouraged my employees to utilize it and they're not. So my experience wasn't the greatest, not to say that shell it just because of one bad experience on my part. I can't speak for Chief Frederick, who's used it, his family's used it. So I laud the efforts of the city, but to make the budget happen, I just don't see it being utilized.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, remember, so it was kind of a new shiny toy. So I want to say we might have used it twice, 2, maybe 3 times last year. Things went really well. Super happy with it. It seems like they've had a little bit of a adjustment in how they treat, and you're maybe battling a little bit more to get those proper medications and stuff like that. Like that's been our problem lately. Like they're like, let's go 3 more days and then schedule another visit with us.
Mhm.
And we'll see if you've gotten any better. And the response that we've had is like, well, it must be bad enough because we're calling you. So, I too, like Mr. Gerald, I've tried to push my staff, and we've had some officers use it and they've been successful with using it. And then there's been some, I would say, frustration with it as well, with ones that have used it. And so I don't know if it was the again, the shiny toy, they get you on board and then things, seem to turn a little bit on us, but
I would say that based on, I mean, other than the potential house call option, our regular insurance carrier has telehealth
Mhm.
and has all those same services, so, and if you can't get person to come visit you, then it's, I mean, that was the one thing I think, especially for those like Ed who have small children at home. I mean, that was kind of one of the nice features that, hey, I don't have to pack up all 3 kids and take them to the urgent care or to the clinic. I can have someone come out to my house within, 4 hours or 24 hours or whatever the number is, but, I mean, I don't know, have you used it this year?
Yeah, I use it every year. We tend to use it more in the first like 3-4 months of the year, because that's when the kids generally bring the most ick home. But the only times we really haven't used it is when they've come home from school and they're like, oh, I'm really sick. And it's like, okay, well, we're not gonna hold you from school tomorrow if we know that you're not really sick, so we bring them to urgent care. But that's really only because if you call after like 1 o'clock, you're not gonna see them until the next day anyway. So, but they have come out to the house. It's been nice. I mean, we definitely use it. But I understand why a lot of people don't. It is like, Mr. Frederick and Mr. Grell said, it is a culture change for sure. Cause you're just kind of used to walking into the clinic and getting taken care of, and you kind of have to, you call them and then you wait for them to respond or show up or do whatever they're gonna do. So it's not so immediate.
Are there other providers similar to Kavira where maybe we could circle back to like taking an approach of gauging interest and then looking for vendors, since there's no longer the benefit of specifically Kavira?
There's, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I think there, I think theirs is a unique model. And I think that's possibly part of the issue. Because I think that they might be having growth issues, I mean, we all know that the healthcare industry is struggling for all kinds of professionals. And, when you need to have providers being able to do house calls or whatever, you start making decisions, as Chief Frederick experienced, where, well, call us in 3 days and so.
That was our experience. It took me 3 days of communicating back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to try to get an x-ray to find out if his foot was broken. And then when they finally put the order in on the 3rd day, they said, well, it could take 3 days before a x-ray tech can get to your house to do the x-ray. And I'm like, okay, well, now 6 days. What is even the sense of that if it takes 3 days for an x-ray?
like I would say if it's just based off of like the telehealth, we get that with our health insurance now, and it's been extremely easy, at least for my family, to get those telehealth calls. When we looked at this at the beginning, I looked at the advantage of being, oh, they can come to your house and do this and do that, and maybe because they've gotten so big so fast, it's become difficult to do that. So, and I kind of asked some of my officers just what, and they're kind of like, so
In my opinion, I think that's something you can.
Yeah, the positives I heard about it were really just, it takes 3 months out on scheduling something at the clinic right now. Whereas this labs, they come to your house and do labs. And the only positive, I haven't heard any other experiences like that, but I think what you're kind of looking at, especially with your guys, is you're not quite to that age where they need to go get all their labs done all the time.
no, they don't even know where the hospital is.
Right.
Yeah, there's also urgent care in Zimmerman now, and then
Right.
there's one in Malacca that you can get in the same day.
Yep.
So. You just gotta drive
you know, what surprises me about this is, all the horror, and I can't speak for myself, I'm on Medicare, stuff, no, I don't have any issues going to the doctor or whatever. But all the horror stories that I hear when I'm around in the community about healthcare, thought this would be a feasible alternative. So,
I think we did too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
not working, it's not working, on my call too.
let's see, where was I? Oh, the last two bits of the budget puzzle is to make a decision on, now this is not a general fund issue, it's a liquor fund issue, excuse me. Whether or not you want to increase the annual wine and spirits grant amount, that needs to be voted on. And then the last piece is, I narrowed up the capital improvements budget. There was a couple of minor changes this morning. And, so the list of projects needs to be approved by the council. Other than that, I'll answer any questions that the council might have. And kudos to the staff for helping me put this together. A lot of moving parts. Sometimes it's like an amoeba.
So the action you need is on the, liquor.
So here's what I need is, item number 1 is to decide whether you want to move the pilot funds and the, funds as a result of the land sales to the, park improvement fund, or if you want to leave them just as unanticipated revenue.
Is there any other funds that are needing money besides the park improvement fund?
The state.
Yeah, like EDA, I saw used to get some.
Yeah. At this point, I would say that the park improvement fund is really our key. The franchise fee is basically at an end.
Yeah.
We don't have any other forms of revenue other than the capital reserve fund, for park improvements, and I think we should, I mean, obviously, these funds will be invested just like all of our other, excess dollars that we're currently not actively using. But having funds dedicated that we can then assign and transfer dollars out as Bob spends them would be good.
I would be in agreement of the park improvement fund.
So we look then after this, like in the next year, on how we're going to be funding parks and get creative or something.
Yeah, I mean, as we do projects, so as we do bigger projects, you know, whether it's, the lighting project at Mark Park, or, you know, a big trail expansion somewhere, or something else that gets to be fairly hefty, you know, then we're gonna come to the council and say, okay, we need to do something other than pull it from capital reserves. But
That 13 acres sitting empty,
Yeah.
that could be a park.
correct,
That's
so,
gonna be expensive.
yeah. So. The developer is supposed to do some pre-development stuff,
Yeah.
so.
I know in the pilot, volunteer, I know in the past, I think the commission did actually indicate that they would like to see the pilot fund dedicated to a specific, you know, I never got into a deep discussion, but it's just kind of an overview. And I would support that too, with the pilot, because that's gonna be an annual and hopefully get bigger. I would think no, selling land, we don't always sell land. We might sell 5 parcels one year and none the next. That's a yearly thing.
We have a lot left.
Yeah, well, there's not a whole lot, yeah, we do
I
have,
mean, the general.
Yeah. well, no, but, I mean, so again, I'm looking at unanticipated revenues that are somewhat windfalls. We didn't budget for either the pilot nor the sale of lots.
Mhm.
Now, when we sell the lots in, the remaining lots in the business park, those will go back into the EDA fund because that's who
Mhm.
funded it, but when we have future, so this is for this year's budget. This is for 2025. When the 2026 pilot comes, and at the end of 2026, I'm gonna ask you the same question. And at that point, there might be a need that came up somewhere else along to move the money into a different fund.
And I'm not projecting we lock it in,
No. Sorry.
but, you know, applying this kind of funding to the park could have coattail on the revenue on that levy, I mean, minor, but you know, if we get enough money coming in outside, we don't have to levy much. Maybe.
Maybe, but I look at this as separate from the levy because these funds are not used for operating expenses in the park. These funds are used specifically for capital expenses, so, you know, I mean,
Suggesting we lock them in, saying,
yeah.
nobody want to.
We make a motion?
I would like two motions, one for each particular item. So a motion for moving the pilot payment and a motion for moving the proceeds from the lot sales.
I'll make a motion to move the pilot payment to the park improvement fund.
Motion,
Second.
and a second, any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That passes. And the next one is the land sales.
Make a motion to move the proceeds from the land sales to park improvement fund.
Have a motion,
Second.
second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so that carries.
All right, the next action item is, of the 6 options for the levy. The first one being no additional deducts, and then the additional, 5 that are in the table. I would like the council to pick an option, and then, Shauna will print the appropriate version of the resolution.
So if I could just make a comment about the fire department para contribution, just so council has some like information previously. That was put into place years ago before the fire department switched to para. And the fund was not always large enough to fund itself per se. So there was a reason why that money was contributed each year to help with that, but now since they've been on para, they don't need that additional funding anymore. If that makes sense to you guys.
Can I speak to that too, just a little bit? You're accurate, but it's very common for city councils to pick a number and continue to give, say, $100 per firefighter per year. You can do voluntary contributions at any time. And I'm fine with taking it out this year, but I do want to talk about it for next year.
So can, instead of just a continual 113, can we just every year decide to fully invest in the para or say?
So,
pick a number?
and I hate to take up too much time, and we'll have I think we definitely have to have a study session about the fire department. But with para, we'll get a report. And what actually the biggest part of funding para or supplementing the fire department's fund is the 2%, which I can go into and explain, but it's basically your insurance money is doing that. We get X amount, you know, there's a formula for everything. So we get our department gets approximately $90,000 from our tax base through the insurance, 2%. That goes into the fund every year. So we certify that we're a department, blah, blah, blah. So the city is on the line to guarantee it, that everything is there. The 113% is a negotiated amount that says if we're over 113%, we can't do an increase under 113% to
to the benefit level.
Mhm.
But anything over that, you can do, you are able to do an increase, but they only do it in $100 increments to a certain point, and then it goes up to like 500.
Mhm.
So the main thing is to always be vigilant to watch that, to make sure that it keeps either, because it is a recruitment and retention tool. You have to keep that healthy, which it is, but there are different, you don't want to get into a point where all of a sudden we go, oh crap, and we have to do 60,000 or something to get it moving again.
So para is just like.
The retirement.
Yeah, the SVF is just it's one of the funds that para manages, so they're investing those dollars, so the 2% dollars, and I can't remember what it was actually over
It
100,000.
went down after the adjustment for the loss of the township.
Yeah, but it's still close to $100,000.
Yeah.
So every year from the insurance proceeds, that 2% money, that money is going into the fund. The fund is being invested. We've said that we're going to make sure that the fund is funded at 113% of its obligations based on the roster of firefighters that we have. So that report that Steve talked about, that comes out in about July-ish. So we would know, relatively early in 26, if for whatever reason.
Yeah,
So we could, so on an annual basis, when we look at that report, we can make some decisions if, say in 27, we want to go back to, because it tells us, that report tells us if we need to make a voluntary contribution, because there's gonna be a shortfall.
Yeah.
So we'll know in advance of the 27 budget, if in fact we need to think about a contribution for the 27 budget.
it's something that you have to monitor.
Yeah.
I think you're answering my question. If we pull that for this year's budget,
Mhm.
we're not gonna jeopardize our 113 percent position.
Unlikely, but we'll know in July when we get the report, and we'll make sure we talk about it early enough for the budgeting cycle.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we just approved an increase in their retirement fund from $5,000 per year of
I think it's
service
about 14%, so
to
very appreciated.
$5,700 per year of service. So that's a pretty big,
Mhm.
it's a $700 a year increase they got because we were at what, 117% funded?
Well, we were well over that. We were at 100.
At one point it was one.
Well, that's what I'm saying, guys, is,
Mhm.
I think that's.
And that's all obviously linked to a lot of the stock market.
We don't wanna jeopardize our position with the fire department and they turn hostile on them either, and we have to be already.
I'm just trying to figure out
That's real.
what are we reducing here? Are we going back on what we just said, or what are we
So
reducing?
Do you want me to? I can talk about it if you want.
We're not going to give the voluntary contribution of $26,000 for next year, is what we're saying.
we're not going
Because
backwards
they've been
on,
overfunded.
yeah,
You said we were.
correct. No, they're
Oh.
still gonna get their
Okay.
$5,700.
We're
I
just
kept
not gonna
talking
do
to
it
myself in
next year.
circles.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But in July, we will look at the para report and we will make accommodations if we need to in 27 based on
Mhm.
how many firefighters might retire. And you have to be vested, I believe, for 5 years.
5 years before you're eligible.
Before you're eligible. So we have a fairly young department right now.
Right.
So that goes into the whole actuarial calculations. So like Steve said, I think we just monitor it, and if we get.
Eventually, I would say you would like to settle at some voluntary contribution more than 0 and less than 650. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's,
So,
Okay. The capital increase, and I follow the logic there, stuff doesn't get cheaper. We do have some aging equipment, I know that.
So basically, the top three lines of the table are if you picked one item.
A la carte.
Well, no, not quite à la carte. So if you just say, we're gonna just only strike Kavira, then that's, your levy increases 5.47%. Or you could keep Kavira, eliminate the capital increase, and the levy would go up 5%. Or you could keep Kavira, keep the capital increase, but eliminate the para contribution, and now you're down to 4.96%. So those are all ors. Then if you want to take both Kavira and para, you're at 4.69% for a levy increase. And if you take all three of them, then you're at 3.96.
I would vote for Kavira and Para.
That's
That's my vote.
Agree.
Hearing that, I guess I'm on board with that too. So
We need to make
you
a
need to
motion.
vote on that or? just-
Yes, no, you need to make a motion to,
I will make a motion to approve cutting Kavira and Para this year for the
Motion,
Second.
reduction.
have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing now, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Right, carries.
and that's the resolution version we'll print and then have Jack sign and send it out to the copies tomorrow.
Is it for your number? Looks better in the paper.
4.69,
All right, in the middle.
Got it.
way better than.
We couldn't get to 6, 7.
Almost.
Top story.
Oh.
Get close to the line.
He did it.
Okay, the next item is a decision on whether or not to increase the annual wine and spirits grant from 25,000 to 5,000, or from 25,000 to 30,000.
Yearly basis, so we can always go back if we feel it's necessary. I see this as probably one of them, I don't really speaking for you, Dylan, but probably one of the best tools you'll have in promoting your business. This money going back to the community, and this is the only real visual policy we have in place that people can see.
Yeah.
I'm in support of adding $5,000. That's my position.
I'm in support as well. I guess, it would be nice to maybe just kind of see relook at the stipulations as far as people coming back to the crop every year. Maybe we can do something with that instead of giving the same person $2,500.
Yes, everybody has the same opportunities.
Right.
I don't know what you look at there and.
I think it just,
Maybe they don't know about it. The other people.
Well, word gets
Maybe
around.
the other thing we could do is set an amount, like 10,000 goes right to the chamber. And then maybe after that, we put a limit of $1,000 per ask and make them fundraise for the rest of it or something, so that we don't have somebody waiting.
We don't have, if somebody requests 2,000, we don't have to give them 2,000. We have that discretion already, so.
Saying we just increased it. It was 20,000 and we just increased it to 25 and we're gonna increase it to 30.
We have to work on it.
When do we stop it increasing?
We have that prerogative every single year.
I know, I understand that, Mr. Mayor, but what I'm saying is we're increasing our taxes 4.69%. But we're also, on the other hand, giving more money away. And I guess I think about, there are probably, some groups that take advantage of it, but I don't know how the rest of the 5,400 people in Princeton feel about us giving them money.
So, you mentioned the chamber, is that for like the large event or what? Did you say the chamber's getting some of
The
that?
chamber gets 10,000 every year right off the,
Just right off the top.
yep.
Okay, why? Couldn't that be something else, like
They
we're
do a lot
partnering
for the
with
community.
them?
Well, that's more for the community than the chamber.
Yeah, but why the wine and the spirits grant? Isn't there like a different grant?
Does everybody here know how much money's in that reserve out there?
What was that?
I was never gonna bring this up in public, but I am. Cause I'm just getting the belly full. There's a lot of money in that liquor reserve fund. That doesn't need to be there, in my opinion. Should go back into the community.
That liquor reserve fund is paying for the public safety building.
We have that, I saw, beyond, that's already comes out of it. We're still making $500,000 a year. Thank you, gentlemen.
If I can respond to Counselor Taylor's question. So cities in and of themselves cannot grant money to other, so like if we did not have the one, if we didn't have a municipal liquor store, we would not be able to contribute dollars to the community. So a request from the East Central Minnesota Corral, the Chamber, the Legion for the community fireworks, any other entity that might need, the inclusive playground, we wouldn't have the ability to contribute to those projects. The sponsorship of the chamber through the Wine and Spirits Grant Fund is basically, it's a sponsorship. It helps fund their operating. We get a ton of publicity everywhere they go for every event. So there's the whole advertising, and then there's the in-kind contributions that we make also from police and fire and,
I'm
public
not saying
works.
don't fund them. I'm just like wine and spirits grant. I'm thinking like so-and-so is running a golf tournament, or like if the chamber was running a golf
They
tournament.
do
And then we pay for the golf event. What are we giving them 10,000 for upfront? Is it for an event?
All the events.
For all.
Just all of the events?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, like, I
Yeah.
didn't know if we were just like giving them 10,000 and being like, see you next year. And
No,
The River Festival and Light of Princeton are very costly.
yeah,
Yeah.
but usually like when they apply, they write that event, and I haven't seen their application.
If you ask Kim, she actually has a breakdown before all that 10,000 goes to every year for what, how much to each event.
Okay,
So
Yeah.
it actually shows.
yeah, you'll see her application after the first of the year.
sure, yep, okay.
I make a motion that we add $5,000 to the, wine and spirits grant. We're going to make it, what, 30,000 in it?
Correct.
I will second that.
We have a motion and second. What discussion? Favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
That carries.
Right, last but not least is the laundry list of 2026 capital expenditures from the airport all the way to the wastewater treatment plant.
A to W.
Yes, we don't have a Z department yet.
Leaving the zoo?
Is there a Z bar, like something?
Yeah, I do.
Parks.
I have a question about City Hall security film. If we're possibly gonna be moving, do we need to spend that $15,000?
Good question. I haven't had a chance to ask Bob and Todd this, if, instead of, security film is like the reflective film, like on the, who's the dog groomer? Where you can't see in, but you can see out, is that a less expensive option? Would that
The
be somewhat?
protective film with the addition of the reflective is more costly than just the,
What I'm suggesting is just
just the reflective.
just the reflective, so,
Yeah, if you remove the smash and grab, then I mean, if you're just gonna go, yes,
Yeah.
it probably would be.
we might have some energy efficiency
Or we get past one of Dylan's distributors too.
Yeah, they can do
It was-
view throughs.
Huh?
So they might do view throughs for us, like, I'll ask them. Yeah.
Anyway,
Sponsorship.
By Castle Danger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thing that needs to be done right away, or?
It's something that's been on the,
Yeah.
that's been on, and we've been trying to address those issues. There's always concern of security, so we're always looking at that, and that's why it's there. We started, and we just haven't been able to complete the project. And so it's a good question, Counselor, in that, do we or don't we? And we don't know the answer as to when we might be moving this facility.
well, and I think the other piece of the puzzle is that we were in conversation with the prior superintendent of schools. I don't know that we've had a chance to revisit that with the new superintendent of public schools, so that would be part of the other component of this. I mean, it's like anything that we have in the list, it's something that has been identified, but it can slide or it can get deleted if after we do more research, we come back to the council and say, hey, we decided that this isn't where we want to be and we're not gonna do this project, so.
Yeah, I think if it just turns into a reflective discussion, there's another vendor that we've used at the police department that I think would, it would be worth getting an additional quote to find out where that cost comes in, besides the other company.
Yeah, we're gonna have to refresh the quotes, cause this thing's been on the thing for almost 3 years now, I think, so. That twice at least.
So something else I don't recall, talking about, it's under public safety storage building training enhancements for fire department and PD, what, for 15,000, what is that? I don't recall.
That's been on there for targeting this year, so that back room of that
Yeah.
storage area, so that the idea was to have that as a training piece where we'd have movable walls where the fire department could, Steve, help me out, like smoke the room and they could be
Correct.
there,
Search and rescue.
search and
We can
rescue.
simulate, fire conditions, as well as, the police can simulate, limited visibility.
And we could practice tactical piece and dog searches and all that. So it was just another inside area. So that we pitched that a while back. It's just, this is the year we wanted it coming up to get it done.
And it would really make that building fully utilized much more.
And I think the guys think that they can do it for less than that. And
Yeah, there's a couple of firemen and police officers that are pretty handy with some tool stuff. So they were intrigued by the project. So I think that's just, letting it get warm out and then let them get after it.
Okay.
With the assistance of Bob's creative purchasing.
Surprise.
Well, it's really a series of movable walls, so
Oh.
it's really probably plywood and heavy duty casters and framing and stuff to be able to make different configurations.
Right, you don't want to have the same training facility all the time, because every house is
Yeah.
different.
I was just meaning, I did like not something where you needed like up to the right code and this and that.
No.
Yeah, I didn't want.
We actually
like,
built
bunch
it, yeah,
of-
there's a mezzanine to look down on the training. We have, a fan and to be able to remove the smoke that the fire guys use.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it would be nice to have.
They are city employees, I know where you're going with that, they're city employees, so they would be covered under our liability. That's where you're going, I think.
Yeah, I just did say, yeah. Just
Well, they're not structural.
in case.
so We don't have to worry about.
Yeah,
But they're still city
We don't have to
employees.
worry about
I think where you're
loads.
going, and don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but do we have to have a contractor to do it?
Yeah.
Question you were asking.
yeah, like,
Or-
yeah,
or-
making sure-
These would be classified training props.
yeah, just making sure it wasn't like major construction or something like that.
No, it's valid.
I don't have any more questions.
Okay. But no action on that.
Nope. I need a motion to approve the capital expenses.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, discussion, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Okay, carries. So,
got everything.
no, we need to do.
That's it. Thank you.
Where did we come up with the final number? Did we come up with 4.?
4.69.
Need action on that?
No, you already did it.
Oh, we did.
Yep.
I thought we couldn't do it till we had decided what we were
Nope.
gonna cut out. or not.
You did decide. Jenny made the motion, Nick seconded to approve the Kavira versus Ampera deduct for resolution.
Yeah, I thought there'd be one more step,
Nope. Nope, you did it.
right? If you're happy, I'm happy.
I'm happy.
We'll move on to the bill.
I have one question. It's under fire department, so Steve, this is probably you. There are two payments that looks like, and they both say ice rescue suits, but they're, one's from Adventure Specialties and one is from McQueen Equipment.
Correct.
Are
Two
they,
separate. So what happened is the one offered a jumbo set. So we ordered that one. And then their regular universal set was $100 more. For whatever reason, so we ordered the universal size one from a different vendor.
what do you mean a jumbo?
They got a big boy.
We got several, so they stretch, but like the feet, the shoes for the universal go up to 13.
Okay,
But we got some with 16s and 17s.
okay,
That,
got it,
Those
okay.
are tricksy. Those are.
yeah. Thank you. I didn't really want to say, we got a bit, some large people.
I just thought it
Oh,
was
that's
odd
so
to see
nice.
the same thing getting ordered from two different suppliers, so I just thought that was kind of odd. I don't have any other questions.
I have a question under street.
Okay,
What's the condition right now?
Well, there's a payment for repair Baptist Church Road on 33rd Street. What was that repair? Cause I work on Baptist Road and there's been nothing.
So this was from last summer, so we
Okay.
partner with the township. So part of that, half of that road is in city limits for a certain section, and the other half is in the township. And so when they come through and do their crack filling or seal coating,
Okay.
they just do the square footage or total linear footage if it's a crack seal, and then we get billed. We just reimburse them for what they've done on our portion.
Okay.
And we do the same thing in return on, if we do anything on a township road. It's been a working partnership for the better part of 6 or 7 years to, like, we plow part of their streets, they fire all part of ours. But we don't bill back and forth, it's just a working relationship.
Okay. Good question.
That's a good. Then my other question is for Todd, sorry.
oh, sorry, don't apologize.
So, it's kind of a, I think it's not necessarily a random question, but kind of random question. So I see that Officer Sharber had a reimbursement for uniform allowance of 158. But Ryan had 731. Does he just wait forever to replace it?
The end of the year.
So, yeah, so you'll see two unique situations, the ones that burn a hole in their pocket, right? So they'll use their uniform allowance pretty quick. A few of us wait to see what actually we need. So like Ryan actually spent more than that, but he only, that's what he gets reimbursed for the year. So, with the new holsters and stuff, that was kind of going on, is they're having to buy some new holsters for the guns and stuff.
Okay.
Not like holes in shoes and.
My personal did the same thing as his. I'll have ones that just buy it throughout the year, and then I have ones that wait till December 15th, and they go on a shopping spree.
Well, and you get, I mean,
Good time to do it.
then you get maybe some more unique deals, better prices on stuff towards the end of the year. Like Strikers where they go to, or they'll shop online or whatever and get reimbursed that way, so.
Anybody else?
Oh, this is gonna be a quick, easy one tonight. I move to approve the December 23rd, 2025 check register containing checks 89951 to 89983 and ACH payments 251768 to 251804 and 122320251 in the amount of $253,860.48.
Motion, second. For discussion, and then all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We'll move on to Michelle's report.
It's all in there, and, happy holidays.
Do you have any questions?
I think I did give you one.
We had the planning commission meeting Monday and approved the additional use permit for the car sales place up across from Glen Craft, yes. We put in a single unit paint booth, all in fully enclosed, type of thing, which was not initially in their stipulations. So we made an exception for that and put in a small paint booth in one of the units. And we approved it tonight.
Did you have something, Counselor?
Just the chamber, I had a chamber meeting
I
and,
got something for Michelle on the report.
oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's what I thought you said. So,
You said you thought you had a question. Did you?
No, I'm sorry, I do not have a question.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
had the committee report, I have nothing. Yeah.
So the chamber meeting, just a couple quick things. They've noticed that Light Up Princeton has been a lot slower this year. I don't know what the last weekend was like.
Sunday was, what did we think, about 450?
Insane.
Something like
Yeah, I
that.
would say for sure
Yeah.
450. It was, Sunday was,
Yeah, we sat in line on Sunday.
oh, you did.
Saturday night it got close.
Yeah,
So
the wind.
we've had a couple of nights with some bad, really cold weather. So that's part of it, but Thursday and Sunday nights have been really slow. Like in the evening. So next year they're talking about maybe just doing from 6 to 8 on Thursday and Sunday nights. So work nights seem to be super slow. But there's just been car counts are down this year, so maybe hopefully. Well,
Yeah, it's nice.
it's a good one.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. I don't know if anybody did the luminary walk at, Reedy Park. No, that's pretty cool. If you get a chance next year, you guys should check that out.
Nobody actually pretty much canceled. That sounds like we hopefully will meet in February.
Okay, anything else? Not from that, that's it.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion,
Second.
second.
See if I can have it all.
Aye.
So, that might be the wrong day.
Adjourned.